This is a song called If You're Not Gonna Be Nice, Then Go Away. Well, if you're not gonna be nice, go away. If you're not gonna be nice, baby, I can't stay. I know you always can't be nice, but I have to say, if you're not gonna be nice, go away. If you're not telling the truth, I don't wanna know. If you're not telling the truth, I have to go. I know it ain't always easy for the truth to show, but if you're not telling the truth, I have to go. I don't care about fashion. I don't care about fame. I don't care about celebrity or who wins the game. Yeah. I don't care about fashion. I don't care about fame. I don't care about celebrity or who wins the game. Yeah. Well, if you're not gonna be real, then you're nowhere. If you're not gonna be real, I can't be there. I know you always can't be real, but I think it's only fair. If you're not gonna be real, then you're nowhere. And if you're not gonna be nice, then go away, go away. If you're not gonna be nice, baby, I can't stay. Oh, look out. I know you always can't be nice, but I feel compelled to say, if you're not gonna be nice, well, you know what to do.
Welcome to the Gaffa tapes. I'm here with Hank WEDEL. How are you doing, Hank?
I'm good, Aaron.
Great to have you here on the Gaffa tapes.
I have something for you. A copy
Please.
of my brand new album.
Hank's brand new album, Living in the Land of Love.
That's the one.
And I believe the first track you did with us today is on the album.
It is.
If you're not going to be nice,
then go away. Yeah, that's the message there.
And where did the inspiration for this track come from, Hank?
Well, let's see. It's just the way that you have to deal with people, not only in the music business, but just in general. You know, it's cut through all the messing.
Yeah,
and it's
absolutely.
But I have a proviso on it. I know you always can't be nice.
Yeah.
But as much as possible, it's trying to be sweet and pleasant about things. There's enough horror in the world.
Absolutely.
So it's a sort of a little nursery rhyme, if you like, exhorting people to, tell the truth, be nice, be real. It's not always possible, but as much as you can, do your best. Yeah.
And in general, Hank, is it kind of like that you'd write your songs around things that you see, or do you have a main point of inspiration for your writing, or does it just come to you? Or
there's two ways it can happen. It can happen, for me anyway, it can happen, well, there's a few ways it can happen, but the main two ways is that you might have a musical line from an instrument, guitar, piano, or whatever it is that you play. Or you might have a melody in your head, or you might have a set of words, and you bring it together. The best thing that can happen, like that song in particular, when you hear it, it's a pretty standard chord changes. It's a sort of a country folk thing, American country folk thing, and the changes in it are just, I wrote the first verse. If you're not going to be nice, go away. If you're not going to be nice, I can't stay. Something too complicated. I know you always can't be nice, but I feel I have to say, if you're not, and then it changes the key, and so I had the basic idea. I just picked 3 or 4 things that I wanted to say, and immediately after I had the first verse around those basic changes, I had the song within 15-20 minutes. That's the best way for it, or not the best way, but it's definitely one of the ways that it happens, and it's really satisfying. All of a sudden, then you play it for someone, and when it falls into place, that's the best way. Not all songs are like that though. Some songs, like there's some songs on the album that have been hanging around for years. There's a song on the album called "That Was the One," and I wrote it with the percussionist I work and play with and write with, Brian, and it's mainly his idea, but I had a guitar line. I started singing it. He came up with ideas, and for years, this has been around for years, this song, and we'd always goof around with it. But when we went to record it at Christian Best's GAF Studios in Cork, there was just Brian and I, and Christian was like looking at us very critically. What are these 2 old hippies doing? But we got a good take.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, I shouted out, "That was the one," and that's why the song is called "That Was the One." But, the lyrics have been around for a while and the idea had been around for a while. So then you kind of crystallize it in the recording process. That can happen too, that these things are hanging around for years, I really should have to do something with this,
And just for people wondering, I know you mentioned just Brian there from one of the tracks, but there's a lot of great musicians on the album other than Brian.
Yes.
It's not just as lovely as it was yourself and the guitar. There's a lot more on the album. I'd highly recommend people to go out and get the album.
Thank you very much. Thank you. He's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot of people on the album, people that I know for years, and then some people that I've only just met in recent years. But I try to keep my associations with musicians and players as fluid as I can.
Yeah.
I've been working basically 30 years, mainly based in Cork, a little bit in New York once upon a time, but mainly in Cork. And there's some old friends on it, old musical companions, and there's some new ones, not just from Cork, but from Holland, from the United States. And, if they were passing through Cork, I'd grab them and pull them in the studio.
Absolutely.
And get them to add whatever they could do. And that's what I like about the album, actually hearing everything back that they added to these songs. Because I was talking about songs there earlier with your dad about recording people and demoing them and all that. So it's a process that can go on. With regards to writing songs and recording, it's, taking a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and trying this, and not be afraid to try that, not try that, there's as much on the cutting room floor, as they say, as there is on the album, and I think that's a very important thing, and it was a lot of fun with the people that I worked with over the few years that it took to make that, But I took it nice and easy doing that,
Deadly. And just for people wondering where they can actually get it, it's available?
It's available, and 3 main places. One, it's available at my gigs.
Yeah.
And
people need to start going out to gigs.
That's right.
It's a lot better to go and clap your hands than it is to press a like button.
There you go.
Definitely.
That's the truth. So there's available at gigs that I do around the place, but it's also available in supermarkets, petrol stations, bookstores, and even in record stores, the ones that are left. There's a company in Fermoy that took a liking to the album, and they agreed to distribute it nationwide.
Brilliant.
So very fortunate with that, and they've done a great job. I'm getting people sending me my Facebook page. They're at a petrol station in Cavan or in Longford or someplace like that, or Kerry. Oh, your album's on sale here.
Deadly.
So I've been lucky like that. Been very, very lucky like that to have that happen.
And your Facebook page, is it where can people find more of you online, say?
I've got a Facebook song and music page.
Brilliant.
I don't have any .com or .net. I probably will, but at the moment it's I wouldn't say I'm a Facebook addict, but I use it pretty well.
And if they just search Hank Weedel, they'll
see
find
the
you
song, and they'll find out where the gigs are. It's also available online, specifically from a a website called Bandcamp.
Yeah.
You've probably heard of Bandcamp?
Yeah.
I'd say a lot of people.
Brilliant.
It's a kind of a musician-friendly site, and I've sold a few internationally that way. I've avoided going down the iTunes, Spotify route, and it's really ironic that just as I have a hard copy album, everybody's asking, are you on Spotify? Are you on Spotify? Are you on Spotify? Can I get an iTunes? And that's just the way that it's gone commercially. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I just wanted to see, what would it be like to actually have an album on sale at the gigs? And now that I've got this distribution arrangement, what way it would go like that? I'd say eventually I will put it up. Yeah. But in the meantime, I feel I can operate it and control it and get the best benefit from it by having it at the gigs and having it in shops around Ireland. Yeah.
Brilliant. And just like going on the gigs and the whole scene, how do you find being an original musician in the country, like writing original music and the way things are in the country at the moment, and just being an original musician in this country? How do you find working with people, or do you find that there's a lot of support from other original musicians, or do you find what way do you find the whole scene at the moment?
I've been at it a while.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got well-established roots and grooves. I don't really know what it would be like if I was just starting off now.
Yeah.
But the one thing I will say about the music industry, if you want to call it that, or the music business, the show business, is that it's never been easy, right? It's never a thing that that comes easy. There's a Ringo Starr song called "It Don't Come Easy," and it's true. You've got to kind of pay your dues, and you've got to put up with, lack of resources, and you've got to put up with lack of facilities, and then you work your way all around that. And someone said to me once, you get from the music business what you get. You don't get anything else. I mean, and I know people that are astounding musicians, and they've floundered because they've given up any kind of hope of making any kind of a life or lifestyle from it. I think the thing to do always is to, if you're writing your own stuff, is to, in as much as possible, showcase it by all means, like this, or showcase gigs and that. But then again, if you want to be a working live musician, which is what I am really. Yeah. I mean, I do a lot of my own stuff at the gigs I play. But if you want to be a working live musician, you've got to get out there and play it, and then throw your own stuff into the middle of it. I notice amongst a lot of young artists, there's a separation from what they do of their own stuff, and if they go out and play what they call a cover gig. Yeah. But within a cover gig, there's opportunity to showcase your own stuff, and you'll know quick what works or doesn't work.
Absolutely.
In a bar situation, because I think a lot of musicians, young and old, audiences can be very, very demanding, and if you're not willing to deal with that in whatever way it comes up, you've got to rethink about what you're doing. I think you've got to have the confidence that your own material can stand up there next to Dock of the Bay or My Girl or something by the Rolling Stones. You've got to have that confidence. Whether it does or not is another story. Yeah. But if you believe in the song that you've written and you've recorded and you want to get it out there and have something to say, then you've got to find a way of cutting through all that stuff that goes with it, playing live, That's my feeling about it anyway. But like I said, I don't know what it's like for anyone starting off now. Yeah. The only thing I would say is to just keep playing and keep close to what you really love about the music, and find musicians that are sympathetic to what you do. That might mean waking up in Berlin, with €10 in your pocket. Yeah. Or it might mean, finding yourself in Dallas, Texas, with a gun to your head, because you got to play, some sort of cowboy song. That's a bit extreme, but I think, what I mean? The idea. In that song I did there, if you're not going to be nice, go away. I have this line about, I don't care about celebrity, I don't care about fame, I don't care about... And in a way, I really don't. I understand that it's show business, and you got to put on something of a show, and you've got to put yourself out there and kind of expose your talents and expose your personality and all that. That can all take a very heavy toll, and you've got to keep practicing, and you've got to keep meeting new people and putting yourself in new positions. So, and I don't know how different it is anywhere else. I think Ireland's always had a very healthy live music scene.
Yeah.
Even going back to the big dance bands in the 30s and the 40s and in the 50s and the 60s, there were the show bands. A lot of the show bands get bad press. But really, all those bands were top 40 bands. I mean, every state in the United States has a top 40 scene. So those bands were top 40s bands from the 60s and the 70s, and they dealt with, like, you know, playing to the crowd and all that. But then a lot of them were very good as well, great musicians. Absolutely. You know, so I'm not saying that we should go back to that or anything like that. What I'm just saying is that there's always a live scene out there, and people do always want live music, but it's up to you to kind of make your mark. You see, the thing is about making music a lifestyle or a way of life is that you're not necessarily going to build a house or have a bunch of big cars or anything like that. And then if you do make a lot of money, it probably goes everywhere, you know, agents and promoters and, you know, recording costs and all that sort of stuff. So you've got to focus on the kind of currencies that are not necessarily money.
Absolutely.
You know, that doesn't mean they're not wealth.
Yeah.
You know, there's the old joke, you know, it's the £5 note's the most important note. That's true. You need a bit of wedge to get by, but you need something else as well. And you've got to find that thing yourself that makes you current in any sort of situation. You know, absolutely. I think anyway, but,
yeah.
You know, I mean, there's rock schools out there where people are, you know, there's all kinds of things to learn about. There's publishing and there's royalties and there's a load of things. And there's really no excuse, but you should show yourself how that works.
Absolutely.
That's what I think anyway.
And I know you mentioned the love of it and everything and the lifestyle that goes with it, but to you, Hank, what does being a musician and an original musician more so, what does it mean to you?
Well, when I was very young, I was exposed to music, specifically the Beatles. Anyone watching this is going to laugh, you know, specifically the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Bob Dylan. And, you know, yesterday was Chuck Berry's 90th birthday. So for me to actually learn songs by any of those people, and I don't want to just say, you know, I'll learn songs by the Sex Pistols or the Clash or Lily Allen or any, you know, so for me, it's about learning songs and it's about getting them across. Yeah. And then the other side of it is working with other musicians. I mean, I've been blessed in Cork to work with a band called Princess Street. Great musicians, great friends of mine. Road Warriors, Open Kitchen. Every Monday night I work with a great mandolin player called Ray Barron. He's been on the road a long time. He's got a band called Two Time Polka. People in Tipperary and all that might remember he had a band called Bone Idol. You know, and all these people have been road warriors. So I always imagined that, you know, to be in that life where I could learn songs and write songs and get together with great drummers and great bass players and guitar players and fiddle players and piano players. I've been very, very lucky to do it because basically I only play guitar and sing. But I discovered an ability to kind of get across the song when I played on the bottom of Princess Street over 30 years ago, busking. That was my roots to actually performing. So to actually do that, I mean, I sang a John Prine song here at this session as well. John Prine's song. I like writers. I like to learn songs, and then I like to write them, you know, as well. Like, so it's that's what it means to me to be able to do that, and nothing else is the thing, you know, and see what comes of it. So that's basically it. You know, it's the situations you might find yourself in.
Brilliant.
I sound like Robbie Robertson in The Last Waltz now.
Oh no! So the track you just did with us. If You're Not Going to Be Nice.
Yeah.
And the track that we're going to have on now from you, it was a John Prine cover?
That's a John Prine, and I'd like to dedicate it to little Sadie Joanne, who was born yesterday, my first grandchild.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm going to call her little Sadie Berry.
Brilliant.
So John Prine's a huge influence on what I do. Excuse me. I love John, and I love his songs, and it's just saw an opportunity to do that song there.
Brilliant.
Yeah. It's very Americana, which is a word that's really overused these days, you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I guess I would be. I guess I'm Irish Americana is a big time because I was born in the United States and my mother's from Mallow and my dad was a New Yorker and all that, you know. So I'm kind of caught in between the two of them. Yeah. But I love living in Cork and I love living and working in Ireland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So that's Hank WEDEL. Thank you very much for coming on to the Gaffa Tapes.
Good to be here. What a wonderful setup you have here.
So check out Hank's Facebook page. Do a general Google search. I'm sure they'll find
YouTube,
plenty.
Facebook. I use Twitter sometimes. Go to Bandcamp if you're watching
Bandcamp
this internationally.
for the album.
And keep an eye out. I'd love to see you on my Facebook music and song page.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much, Aaron.
No problem at all. And
Thank
don't
you.
forget to subscribe to the Gaffa Tapes, give us a like on Facebook, and stay tuned for more of the best live Irish music.
Okay, this is a song called Grandpa Was a Carpenter, dedicated to little Sadie Berry. Sadie Joanne, born yesterday. This is a John Prine song. See, now I'm your grandpa. Oh, Grandpa wore a suit to dinner nearly every day. No particular reason, he just dressed that way. Brown necktie, matching vest, pointed plain-tip shoes. Built a cabin on our front porch, put a penny in a burned-out fuse. Grandpa was a carpenter, he built houses, stores, and banks. Chain-smoked Camels, cigarettes, and hammered nails and planks. Level on level, shaved even every door, and he voted for Eisenhower, 'cause Lincoln won the war. Well, he used to sing me Blood on the Saddle, rock me on his knee, and let me listen to the radio before we got TV. He'd drive to church on Sunday, take me with him too, stained glass in every window, hearing aids in every pew. Grandpa was a carpenter, he built houses, stores, and banks. Chain-smoked Camels, cigarettes, and hammered nails and planks. Level on the level, shaved even every door, and he voted for Eisenhower, 'cause Lincoln won the war. Well, my grandma, she was a teacher, went to school in Bowling Green, and she traded in a milking cow for a Singer sewing machine. Called her husband Mister, and walked real tall in pride, and used to buy me comic books after Grandpa died. Grandpa was a carpenter, he built houses, stores, and banks. Chain-smoked Camels, cigarettes, and hammered nails and planks. Level on the level, shaved even every door, and he voted for Eisenhower, 'cause Lincoln won the war. I told you Grandpa was a carpenter, he built houses, stores, and banks. Chain-smoked Camels, cigarettes, and hammered nails and planks. Level on the level, shaved even every door, and he voted for Eisenhower, 'cause Lincoln won the war.